Welcome, children. In your previous session, you have seen that Yudhishthir himself went in search of his brothers as they did not turn up. When he reached there, he saw all his brothers lying dead. As he was about to drink water from the pool, the voice stopped him and asked him to answer his questions before drinking the water. He agreed to answer his questions. Now, I'll explain the rest of the lesson. Take page number 46. The voice put questions rapidly one after another. It asked, what makes the sun shine every day? That was the first question. What makes the sun shine every day? Yudhishthir replied, the power of the Supreme. The power of the Supreme God makes the sun shine every day. Second question, what rescues man in danger? When man is in danger, what saves him or protects him? Courage is man's salvation in danger. Courage, a man's courage is his salvation in danger. Deliverance or preservation from harm, salvation meaning. By the study of which science does man become wise? By studying which science does man become wise? Not by studying any Shastra does man become wise. It is by his association with the great in wisdom that he gets wisdom. By studying any Shastra, nobody will become wise. But a person's association with the other great people will make him wise. Dear Shast, what's more nobly sustaining than the earth? What's more nobly sustaining than the earth? It will be strengthening somebody or supporting physically or mentally somebody. What's that? Yudhishthira replied, the mother who brings up the children she has born is nobler and more sustaining than the earth. The mother is more sustaining than the earth. What's higher than the sky? The father. He replied, the father. What's fleeter than wind? Fleeter means fast. What is fleeter than wind? The mind. The mind goes faster than the wind. What's more blighted than withered straw? What can be destroyed faster than dry and shriveled straw? What can be destroyed faster than dry and shriveled straw? A sorrow-stricken heart. A heart which is seriously affected with the sorrow can be destroyed faster than withered straw. That was his answer. What befriends a traveler? Befriends means become a friend when they are in need. He said learning. How learning befriends a traveler? Learning befriends a traveler because to travel one has to know more and need to open up his or her mind to observe and know about the place he is visiting and listen to the people who he meets along the way. And you learn every step of your way when you travel, and that's how learning befriends a traveler. So when he goes, he will be meeting so many people, so he will be observing so many things, and all these will be helping him. These all things are needed for a traveler. Who accompanies a man in death? Dharma. Dharma means what he did on this earth, his doings. That alone accompanies the soul in its solitary journey after death. In its lonely journey after death is his dharma, which is the biggest vessel. The earth, which contains all within itself, is the greatest vessel. The greatest container is the earth. What is happiness? Happiness is the result of good conduct. Happiness is the result of good conduct. Good conduct or good behavior's result is happiness. What's that abandoning which man becomes loved by all? If we abandon or leave something, man becomes loved by all. What's that? Pride. Pride means self-respect or be proud of oneself. we abandon pride, man becomes loved by all. For abandoning that, man will be loved by all. If we abandon pride, we will be loved by all. But the loss which yields joy and not sorrow. If we lose something, we will get happiness, not sorrow. What's that? Anger. Giving it up, we will no longer be subject to sorrow. If we give up anger, we will no longer be subject to sorrow or sadness. What's that? By giving up which man becomes rich. By giving up something, man will become rich. What's that? Desire. Desire means wanting to have more and more. That's what is called desire. Getting rid of it, man becomes wealthy. What's the greatest wonder in the world? What's the greatest wonder? Every day, men see creatures depart to amass abroad. And yet, those who remain seek to live forever. Every day, people see many creatures dying and going to amass home or abroad. Still, those who remain on this earth seek to live forever. They wish to live forever. This verily is the greatest wonder. This certainly is the greatest wonder. Thus the Yaksha posed many questions and Yudhishthira answered them all. Yaksha asked or presented so many questions and Yudhishthira answered them all. Then the Yaksha said, I am pleased with your wisdom, Yudhishthira. I am very happy with your wisdom. You are really a wise person. I will bring all your brothers to life. It was Yama, the Lord of Death, who had taken the form of the deer and the Yaksha so that he could test Yudhishthira. In order to test Yudhishthira, Lord Yama took the form of the deer and the Yaksha. He embraced Yudhishthira and blessed him. Yama said, only a few days remain to complete the stipulated period of your exile in the forest. Only very few days more are there to complete your period of exile in the forest. The 13th year will also pass by very fast. None of your enemies will be able to discover you. During this period, your enemies will not be able to find you or discover you. You will successfully fulfill your undertaking. And saying this, he disappeared. He said, you will successfully fulfill your agreement. And saying this, he disappeared. The Pandavas had no doubt to pass through all sorts of troubles during their exile, but the gains too were not inconsiderable. The Pandavas had to pass through all sorts of troubles, so many troubles they had to face during their exile, but they gained also a lot. It was a period of hard discipline and searching probation through which they emerged stronger and nobler men. It was a period of hard discipline. That means it was a period of thorough test through which they emerged stronger and nobler men. They came out successfully. I will discuss some of the important questions now. Question number 5. How did Yudhishthira's response to the voice differ from that of his brothers? Answer. Yudhishthira showed respect to the voice and heeded its warning. He humbly agreed to answer all of the Yaksha's questions and did not show any anger or ego while doing so. Whereas his brothers did not show respect to the voice or heeded its warning. Question number 6. Illustrate how happiness is a result of good conduct. When you show good conduct or behave well, you tend to please everyone, whether you know them or not. You show that you respect the other person and value their words and advice. This results in you getting what you set out to get, which in turn will give you happiness. Yudhishthira's example tells us this. Question number 7. What blessing did Yama bestow upon Yudhishthira? What blessing did Yama bestow upon Yudhishthira? Answer. Yama was pleased with Yudhishthira's answers and his behavior. So he blessed him and said that their enemies will not be able to discover them and that they would successfully complete what they set out to do. Question number 8. What did the Pandavas gain from their exile? What did the Pandavas gain from their exile? Answer. The Pandavas gained a lot of knowledge and learning from their exile. The exile taught them some hard discipline and made them introspect. After the exile, they came out as stronger, nobler, and wiser men. Okay, children, read the lesson as many times as possible and write down the question answers in your copy.